You're listening to The John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Ferris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris. Good Wednesday to you, sir.
Oh, Wednesday. Yeah. You got something up your sleeve there?
We do. Well,
Wednesday there, big shooter?
We're going to just chat about this really cool prize you can win at the end of this month.
All right. I know where you're going.
Going to be giving away tickets to... Now, this... I keep calling it 80s in the Sand. There are new, we just yesterday talked about Taylor Dayne, and I said we saw her at 80s in the Sand. That's the same event, but they changed the name to The Sands.
Right.
So when I talk about the Sands, if you hear me mention 80s in the Sand, it's because it's a habit. That's what it was called for years. Wonderful events. So much fun. Heidi and I have been to every one of them. And you can go in October of 2020, or is it November this year? I don't know. It's coming up this fall. I should probably know the answer to that too. All of the details can be found at radiotravelgroup.com, and we've got a link on our page, Sunny Radio page. It is November 6th through the 11th. See, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was in November. But anyway, great time. Sign up. 2 different folks get to go, so you can bring like a friend, or you can bring Dan, or you can bring whoever. Airfare's not included.
That's what I do.
All of the details can be found at sunnyradio.com, and you'll see a little button right on there that tells you how to register. That's what we're doing on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
I think we're done now.
All right. Fantastic. This is Discover What Your Name Means Day.
Oh.
So I actually did.
Did you?
Oh.
That's what I did. Yeah.
What does your name mean?
I've got, I'll tell you. Daniel, Hebrew, of course, biblical sense. It's a God is my judge.
Nice.
Or God is my strength.
I like that.
I'll take both.
Yeah,
That's good.
for sure.
What is Heidi?
Nope. You first, John.
Oh, come on.
John, again, Old Testament, very huge name as
Big name,
as well, But in your case, I boiled it down and it says, "Where's your pants?"
That is it. I'm wearing shorts right now. So. And when it gets cold out, I'll put on some pants.
Actually, John, from Old Testament means graced by God.
Nice.
Oh, very cool.
Thank you. I like that.
Heidi, which is extremely German in
It is.
origin.
It is.
So German.
Heidi, avoid eye contact. Do not tick her off.
Yeah. Yes.
Actually, it means noble and kind.
Oh, nice. Noble and kind.
And Heidi has a very soft spot in my heart. That was my very first boy-girl date ever. Her name was Heidi. Heidi Nelson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
6th grade, Dare Elementary School, Minneapolis. And there's a big sliding hill out behind the school across the fence. And on Saturdays in the winter,
I
something like that.
remember this story.
Hey, should we go sledding? You guys want to go sledding? Yeah, boys get together, go sledding. And one day, I think it was Brian Jugadinsky, who was nuts, said, "Hey, maybe we should invite girls." And we're like, "Ooh. Huh. Weird." Well, I had a little crush on this girl named Heidi Nelson.
Nice.
Lovely girl, beautiful smile. Ran into her in the stairway one afternoon, and I'm like, "Hey, Heidi, mumble, you want to go sledding Saturday?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure, okay, I'll meet you there." Well, we didn't have all these discs and all this fancy sliding stuff. You had sleds,
Yeah.
Right.
built with lumber and rusty metal runners,
Right.
and all, pretty cumbersome stuff. Anyway, at one point, and we're having a pretty good time, I said, "Hey, why don't you lay down on my sled, lay down, and I'll push you. Jump on and we'll have a ride here." It's like, woo. Well, I got up ahead of steam and jumped on, and I came in a little hot and jumped a little too far forward.
Yeah.
And slammed her face into the sled.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and she chipped her tooth.
Oh, my goodness.
So down at the bottom of the hill, I'm like, "Oh, man, I'm bummed out about this. This is terrible."
They don't like you now that you got that missing tooth.
Yeah. And she said, "Yeah." And I said, I can't date a girl with bad teeth. Had to show her the door.
Excuse me. I said good day.
Lester Holt, NBC News anchor, has a birthday today. Les is 64.
Nice.
Lily from the AT&T
She's adorable.
cell commercials. Yeah, Milana Vaintrub is 36.
She's like from Ukraine or somewhere, isn't she?
It's not Ukraine.
Yeah, it's
but it's
somewhere
another
else.
one with a U and too many consonants. Yeah.
Yeah, she immigrated here.
There you
She's
go.
adorable.
Monkeys drummer Mickey Dolenz, last surviving monkey, by the way, is 78 today.
Who would have guessed he'd be the last surviving monkey,
I don't know.
by the way?
I don't know.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I would have thought it would have been Davy Jones. He
Yeah.
always seemed like the youngest of them.
Yeah.
But, Mickey's still
I like
kicking
the
around.
Monkees a lot.
There you go. Oh, they were huge, man. Absolutely
Yeah.
huge. It was 1817. New York Stock Exchange launches. Yeah.
1917?
1817.
1817.
1817.
Holy cow.
Wow.
It becomes the world's largest marketplace for securities and other exchange-traded investments.
Nice.
Lost me a lot of money last year.
Yeah.
Still licking my wounds. 1948, U.S. Supreme Court rules in the McCollum versus Board of Education that religious instruction in public schools is unconstitutional.
Yikes.
That's when things started to shift.
Yeah, that's when things really started to improve around here. So that was what we needed.
And here you go. Here comes something in John's wheelhouse. He loves this stuff. 2014, because it's conspiracy things and it's mystery things.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, he likes this.
And it is fascinating. So 2014 already? What was that, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ish.
Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, carrying 239 people, disappears.
Yeah.
Becomes most expensive search in aviation history. Remains a huge mystery to this day. Search went on for 3 years. It was called off in 2017.
And it's just vanished.
And to this day, people are going,
Where'd it go? Yeah.
It is crazy because usually they can find something.
Well, I mean, it went off the radar and everything. Like, they couldn't even see the plane.
Yeah, just vanished.
It's crazy.
Like it flew into a portal.
I lean towards, and this might sound crazy, but I lean towards this thing landed. It was pre-planned. I think these people are still out there.
I would assume
like doing
they're
a
on
survival
some,
island thing.
Right. I would assume it's on some island somewhere that.
I don't know.
But I don't know why they would have dropped off the radar is the thing, the tracking device.
And you guys think I sound like a conspiracy theorist.
Let me just my tinfoil hat.
Well, it can't just disappear. I
But
mean,
it
it's
did.
somewhere. I mean, it either crashed and they haven't found it,
That's
or
why I
it
lean
landed.
towards
Yeah.
pre-planned.
Yeah.
That's where I go with it.
I don't know.
Anyway, all right. Well, I know something, very little. We all know. We just bounce ahead here.
Going to do that. It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
Do you ever get credit card offers in the mail? Those are usually the worst offers. They spend thousands of dollars mailing them to anyone with an address. The people who actually read their junk mail end up paying the price in the long run. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a credit card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for Back to the Basics in Healthcare with Balanced Life Chiropractic, and we have Dr. Harley with us. How you doing, Dr. Harley?
Hey, John. I am doing fantastic. I am tired of this winter, but
Anytime you want to be done winter, we're fine with that.
it gives us something to talk about. Right?
It does. And we just did, my beautiful bride Heidi and I are also patients at Balanced Life Chiropractic. We just did our annual assessment. So it's kind of cool. And I think people should know how you guys do that. It's not just, I don't know, the technology amazes me. So what are some of the technology things that you guys use in your office?
So we use a nerve scan and a muscle assessment that we use as a reassessment to really track your progress. How are you doing? You know, it's one thing for me to say, oh yeah, these things feel better, this is moving better, but we can actually put it on a screen in front of you and show you where your issues were and, you know, where they're not anymore or where things are creeping up, kind of thing. So like we can make sure we're maintaining, if you're feeling good, we're maintaining that, because that's really, we don't want to just fix your problems and then never address it again, but make sure that we keep those from coming back, kind of thing. So the nerve scan is looking at basically where the stress is at in your nervous system, and it comes off as heat. So a temperature, basically it's like a giant thermometer looking side to side temperature differences, pinpointing where those problems are at in your spine. And it may not even be areas that you realize that's where your stress is at. Because our pain always isn't, or I should say isn't always, but it's not always in the right, where we're thinking it's at. Like, oh, my hip hurts, but the problem could be coming from somewhere else. So that's really what we're addressing, is where that issue's coming from, not just where your pain is really, like where you feel your pain at.
Because the hip bone is connected to the thigh bone. No, all these things are all connected. Right, so then you could have an issue
in one place where you're feeling the pain, but it's really because of something else.
Exactly. A lot of times, like, things are compensating, and when we're feeling that pain, a lot of times that's because it's been working harder to make up for an area that's not able to work as hard, as a way of looking at that.
And then if that has you walking a little bit different, now you could be causing different pains in different places because you're walking different.
Right. And as we're getting things moving, other areas get irritated because they weren't moving before, and now we're making them work. And, just like anyone that wants to work out, like, your body's not super happy about that change, but it gets used to it. So it's kind of the same idea. And then we also use a muscle assessment to see, are your muscles overactive or are they underactive? So if you are doing things like you're doing massage therapy, you're stretching, working out, PT, going to the chiro, and nothing seems to be working, well, using all the information can show us, well, this makes sense why nothing's sticking, because these muscles are so overactive that you do one thing and then you don't do it again for a while. Those muscles are going to pull it right back out because they're so used to that. Or maybe they're not active enough, so it's easier for those things to shift out of alignment because the muscles aren't holding and stabilizing your spine like it should. So all that really tells us, how long these issues have been there and what's it really going to take to start making those changes.
And these things are really accurate because that muscle machine showed that I have no muscles and I'm mainly made of pudding. Okay, maybe not that.
Not quite that accurate.
The thing that is fascinating to me, though, is it's almost like nowadays, if you have a car problem, when you go to a mechanic, first thing they do is they run a diagnostic. Like, they plug this thing into a machine, it does this diagnostic check, and it tells them what the issue is. So they don't have to just start, messing around and changing every little thing. And that's kind of, and I know it's not quite that, but that's kind of similar to this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it. It's like we're not guessing where your issues are at just based on what you're telling us. We're able to use technology to help us really dive in and figure out where the root cause of your problems are coming from.
And it's not necessarily because the patient would be wrong, but sometimes we don't know.
Right.
So it's like when I'm telling you I have a pain here, I might have a pain there, but it could be caused because of something in a different place.
Exactly.
So if somebody listening is going, oh, that's not how we've done this in the past, but boy, I'd be interested in checking that out. How do they get a hold of you, and how do they sign up to become a patient with you at Balanced Life Chiropractic?
They can give us a call at 605-215-1785, or they can message us on our Facebook page, Balanced Life Chiropractic. We'd love to chat, let them know how we can help them have a happier, healthier new year.
That'd be very nice. Again, you can also find them online. Their website, balancedlifesd.com.
If your plan for the new year involves getting your financial life in order, I suggest you start with your mobile phone bill. How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
And now stuff Dan finds interesting. Yeah.
It is time for Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. Dan, what do you find interesting on this Wednesday?
Okay, you're kind of a car guy, John.
Oh, I'm a car guy.
A little different taste in cars when it comes to
I-
car guys. But did you grow now, Heidi? You're from Iowa, right? Storm Lake area. Okay, John, Huron.
Huron's
right?
up there,
I'm a
yeah.
Minneapolis kid.
Yeah.
When you were growing up, when you were in your teens, was there? Did you do the cruising thing?
Oh, yeah. Flipping the loop.
yeah.
You did. Was there any racing going on?
Oh, yeah. There was some racing going on.
We
Okay.
had a race.
Well, the street racing thing has become really huge in this country. I mean,
Yeah.
dangerously.
Well, part of that is the
Popular.
Fast and Furious franchise. They glorified it and made kids
Yeah,
think
that's
that it was
true.
great.
Yeah, it is. I mean, people are dying.
Yeah.
And it's nuts. This story recently out of Florida, Daytona Beach area, was a group of bikers, actually. Those little crotch rockets,
Oh, yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
There was about a dozen of them screaming up and down the avenues, racing, popping wheelies, this, that, and the other thing. Police show up. All these folks decided to run.
Yikes.
And some of those little scooters can go pretty darn fast.
Yeah.
One in the group, and this is Karma, as he was blasting around a corner, he slowed down, almost came to a stop, and turned around and flipped off the pursuing officer. Took off and was T-boned by a pickup truck.
Oh, yikes. How did that go then?
He's fine.
Is he fine?
Yeah, he lived through it.
Okay.
And got picked him up and said, "Hey, shrewd move, dude."
Yeah.
But yeah, this stuff is it's pretty crazy. I can remember growing up, would have been 70s. My brother owned a GTO Judge, a 69, and we used to race on Lake Street, South Lake Street. We'd cruise, and every now and again, come up to a red light and somebody come up next to you, man, and you're going. I mean, you're going. I think back on that. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Inner city, and all of a sudden you're rocking 85, 90 miles an hour down the avenue. Amazing.
I was in a vehicle one time where the guy driving the vehicle, Doug, put his vehicle in reverse and hit the gas, and we had to be going 50 miles an hour in reverse. I don't know why he did it. He was laughing hysterically the entire time. And when we finally stopped, I said, I am never getting in a car with him again. He's a nice guy, a little crazy. But that was when we were driving the loop, and he pulled up, and somebody was in front of him.
There's a loop in Huron?
Yeah, so he put it in reverse and just hit the gas in this parking lot.
You can imagine the wild time.
Going about 50 miles an hour in reverse. It was horrifying. So, yeah, don't do that. It's a bad idea.
Well, car guys are car guys. But, yeah, sweep of the nation. It's just day old stupid, man. Especially when you got a really great car. Why are you beating it up?
Yeah, his wasn't a great car. That was also part of the reason I was scared. Even going in forward 50 miles an hour would have been scary. So.
All right. I'm going to have to blast.
Thanks for coming in.
What time is it? Almost 7:30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little later than that. But.
That's my nap time. And hey, ladies, I'm single.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in, Dan.
John, Heidi, have a prosperous, blessed day. I'll catch you up with you in the morning.
All right. It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
Do you ever get credit card offers in the mail? Those are usually the worst offers. They spend thousands of dollars mailing them to anyone with an address. The people who actually read their junk mail end up paying the price in the long run. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a credit card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. bettercreditcards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Wednesday, March 8th, brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Equity markets received a rude awakening Tuesday when Fed Chief Jerome Powell's prepared remarks to Congress were released to the public. In the remarks, Mr. Powell reveals inflation is not tamed. The FOMC is on track to continue raising rates. Another 50 basis point interest rate hike may be necessary, and peak interest rates may be higher than the market expected. The news caused the S&P 500 to retreat more than 1.5% at the day's low, confirming resistance to higher prices at the 30-day moving average. The risk for the market is definitely tilted toward the downside following this news. Higher rates for longer will have a more profound and longer-lasting impact on the economy, which will be seen in the first earnings outlook. The outlook for S&P 500 earnings was already declining. An acceleration in the downtrend will add additional pressure to the index and stocks in general. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.